I have a BA in political science and an MA in communication. Neither degree got me hired in digital marketing. What got me hired was proving I could run profitable Google Ads campaigns. I went from 40K in PR to 125K as a media strategist, all because I actually knew what I was doing. I've helped people with 0 degrees land their first marketing roles in 3 to 6 months. In this video, I'm showing you exactly how to do it. So here's what you need to get. Hiring in digital marketing has changed. Companies used to filter out candidates by checking if they had marketing degrees. Now they're checking if you can actually run profitable campaigns. Companies like Google, Apple, and IBM have dropped degree requirements for lots of roles. When you look at job posts now, you'll see degree preferred, not degree required. That language matters because it means if you can prove you've got the skills, you're in with a shot. And think about this. Over 70% of digital marketers say they didn't need a degree to get along in their careers. So most people climbing the ladder did it without spending 4 years in college. My degrees didn't get me hired. Being able to show that I knew what I was doing did. I've been doing this for 17 years now. I've worked with startups and billion-dollar companies. Nobody's ever cared about my BA in political science. So what does this skills over degrees thing actually mean when you're out there applying for jobs? Think of it like this. Employers want to know if you can build a Google Ads campaign from the ground up, come up with ad copy that gets people to click and buy, understand the data to make campaigns perform better. Nobody cares that you sat through 4 years of random classes that had 0 connection to advertising. Here's how this played out for me. My first real experience was working with Google grants for a nonprofit. Nobody trained me. I had to figure out Google Ads on my own. And I'll be honest, I messed up, but I tested things and I learned what worked. And that experience is what landed me my next job. I went from ad operations manager to senior ad operations manager and eventually hit media strategist at $125,000 a year. But that's not where it stopped either. I left that corporate job. I went freelance and now I'm pulling in 6 figures a year. Now I'm not some special case. This is just what can happen when you get good at this stuff. None of that happened because of what was on my diploma. It happened because I could prove I got results. Here's the money side when it comes to entry-level roles. Digital marketing positions start around $57,000 a year with clear paths to 90K as you get experience. This is a field with real earning potential down the line. This matters because you've probably been thinking for years that I can't have a real career without a degree. But in digital marketing, that's just not true. Barrier to entry isn't college. It's figuring out what specific skills to learn and how to actually prove that you've got them. Once you get that, everything changes. You don't need a university to give you permission to start a digital marketing career. You just need a plan. So skills matter way more than degrees. But which skills exactly? That's where most people get stuck, and they end up wasting months learning stuff that doesn't matter. So let me break down exactly what employers are actually looking for. When companies hire for entry-level digital marketing roles, they're looking for a specific set of skills you can actually learn. So let me walk you through what that looks like. First, Google Ads and Meta Ads. This means you know how to build campaigns from scratch, pick your targeting, write ad copy, choose your bidding strategy, understand what kind of creative actually works. You're inside Google Ads Manager and Facebook Ads Manager doing the actual work. Second, analytics and tracking. You need to understand Google Analytics 4, how to set up conversion tracking, and how to use Google Tag Manager to drop tracking codes on websites. This is how you can figure out if your campaigns are actually making money. Third, copywriting. You're writing ad copy using copywriting frameworks. You're writing headlines and descriptions that get people to click and buy. Fourth, reporting and data analysis. You're building dashboards, making sense of metrics like click-through rate, conversion rate, return on ad spend, customer acquisition cost, and lifetime value. Then you're using all that data to make campaigns better and explain what's happening to your boss or clients. So what does a digital marketer actually do day to day? You're checking how campaigns performed overnight. You're tweaking ad copy based on what's working. You're shifting budgets to pour more into the winners. You're building reports for your manager or clients. You're the person launching Google Ads, creating Facebook campaigns, tracking conversions, and making everything perform better for the companies that you work for. It's interesting work because you're not sitting around doing the same thing over and over all day. Here's how you can actually build these skills fast. You need a real plan instead of bouncing around YouTube hoping you're learning the right stuff. When I was getting started, I had to figure it all out myself. Picking things up from coworkers, sitting through conferences, going through whatever training my company offered. Got me there eventually, but man, it took way longer than it should have. If I were starting from scratch today, I'd jump straight into a structured course like CourseCareers, instead of fumbling around trying to guess what matters and what doesn't. And look, full transparency, I'm a career coach for the CourseCareers digital marketing course, so I see firsthand what works for students breaking into this field, and that's why I recommend it. The course takes you through everything you need, starting with the basics and going all the way to actually working inside Google Ads, Meta Ads, and analytics tools yourself. You get 4 hands-on projects: media planning, setting up a Google Ads campaign, setting up a Meta Ads campaign, and doing real data analysis. These are legit portfolio pieces that you can actually show hiring managers when you're trying to land a job. And here's something else you can do to stand out even more. Get certified. Google Ads certifications are free, and Meta Blueprint certifications are pretty affordable. You can knock these out in 2 to 4 weeks total. When employers see Google Ads certified or Meta Blueprint certified on your resume, it shows them you know how to use the tools. This matters because it clears up all the confusion. Instead of drowning in a million learn digital marketing videos on YouTube with no clue where to start, you've got a clear road to follow now. Learn these exact platforms and skills. Certified, build projects. And here's the best part. You can learn all this stuff in months. You don't need to be some kind of genius or naturally tech-savvy person. If you're scrolling through social media every day, you already get how these platforms work. You know what makes you stop mid-scroll. You know which ads grab your attention. That gut feeling's your foundation. The training just shows you how to turn that into actual strategy. Employers aren't hurting for magical unicorns who know everything. They just want people who can launch campaigns, look at the data, and make things perform better. All that can be taught. You know what to learn now. Here's where everyone hits a wall. How do you prove you can actually do this work when you've got no professional experience? Employers keep saying they want experience. How are you supposed to get that experience? Nobody will give you a shot. Here's how you solve this problem. Let me tell you about the experience paradox. You need experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience. This is the problem most people run into. But here's what most people miss. Employers hiring for entry-level digital marketing roles care way more about proof you can do the work rather than what's on your resume. They want proof you can come up with smart strategies and actually carry them out. And you can give them that proof even if you've never had a marketing job before. The way to do that is building a portfolio of real projects before you even start applying. This means you might need 3 or 4 pieces in your portfolio to prove you understand how campaigns work and can actually run them. We're talking about media plans, campaign mock-ups, and data analysis reports. These are real work samples you can walk hiring managers through when you're sitting in an interview. So let me walk you through the exact strategy step by step. Step 1, go through structured training with real hands-on practice. Don't just look at the theory, you need to actually get inside Google Ads, Meta Ads, and analytics tools and do the work. You're launching campaigns in practice environments, setting up tracking, running fake optimizations. The CourseCareers digital marketing program shows you all this since you're working on the actual platforms while you learn. Step 2, build your portfolio projects. Here's what that looks like. First, create a media plan. Research who you're targeting, come up with a realistic budget, plan how campaigns would run across different platforms. You're doing this to show that you can think strategically. Second, build campaign mock-ups. Create example ad campaigns with all the targeting details, ad copy, creative ideas, and budget breakdowns. You have to prove you understand how campaigns are built and that you can write copy that actually converts. Third, put together a data analysis report. Grab some sample campaign data, break down how it performed across all the important metrics, figure out what worked and what didn't, and lay out exactly what you'd change. Show you can think analytically and actually understand the numbers. You can put these projects on platforms like Behance, make them easily shareable with employers. Step 3, get certified. Stack your Google Ads certification, Meta Blueprint certification, and Google Analytics 4 certification, or as we call it, GA4. These take about 2 to 4 weeks total, and it can make your resume pop. When you're up against other candidates with zero experience, anything extra you can show off makes a difference. Step 4, build your network the smart way. Here's what I tell every student I work with. Networking is everything. Most marketing jobs go to people they already know or people who got referred. Here's what actually works. Pick 3 to 5 companies you want to work for. Find the hiring managers or marketing directors. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Engage with what they post. Make a few comments, share their stuff, and send them a personalized message that mentions your portfolio. Ask for a quick 15-minute chat to learn about their work. Remember, this isn't about pushing for a job. You're just showing genuine interest and proving you've got skills. If you need more real-world experience, ask around the people you know and offer to work on a small project for free or cheap. Remember, this isn't about pushing for a job. You're just showing genuine interest and proving you've got skills. If you need more real-world experience, ask around the people you know, offer to work on a small project for free or cheap. Step 5, use your portfolio to dominate interviews. When the hiring manager asks, do you have experience? You pull up your media plan and walk them through how you came up with it. When they ask, Can you run a Google Ads campaign? You show them the campaign you built, explain why you chose that targeting, and break down your ad copy decisions. You're not saying you think you can learn it because you've already done it. That's the difference between people who get rejected from people who get hired. It's the piece most people totally skip, and it's why they end up applying to hundreds of jobs and never hearing anything back. When you show up with a portfolio, certifications, and a smart networking strategy, you don't need to worry about how to stand out from everyone else without a degree. Flip the whole script. Instead of begging someone to take a chance on you, you're showing them you can already do the job. Here's the realistic timeline. Using this approach, you can land a role within 1 to 6 months, depending on how much time you can put into the job search in the area that you live in. It's not a guarantee, but it's a pattern I've seen with students who actually follow this strategy the right way. The thing that got me hired for my first digital marketing job was proving I understood Google Ads and showing I could pick up other platforms quickly. That's what employers want to see. You're competent and you can adapt. Now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but is this actually worth it compared to my other options? Maybe you should just go to college or take a boot camp. To be fair, let's break down the real numbers so you can make a smart decision. When you're wondering how best to start, you're really weighing 3 things: time, cost, and your actual chances of success. Most people are stuck deciding between a traditional 4-year college, boot camps, teaching themselves, online courses, or just hoping things magically improve. Let me break down what each option actually costs, not just in money, but in lost time and opportunities too. Because once you see the real numbers, it changes everything. Okay, first up, traditional college. You're looking at $30K to $60K plus in tuition per year over 4 years. That's the average cost depending on whether you go to a public or private university. And room and board, books, and living expenses, and the total cost can hit $130,000 or more for a 4-year degree. Time commitment, 4+ years before you can even start applying for jobs. Debt, the average graduate leaves with around $31K in federal loans, and that number keeps getting higher. Here's the problem. A marketing degree doesn't guarantee you have job-ready skills in Google Ads, Meta Ads, or analytics. You might graduate knowing the theory, but have no idea how to actually run campaigns. So you're spending 4 years and getting into debt, and there's no guarantee you'll be hireable on day 1. The opportunity cost is massive. It's 4 years of zero income while you're in school. You could be earning $60K a year instead. You're giving up $240,000 in potential income over those 4 years. Okay, next up are boot camps. These can cost thousands up front. Time commitment is usually 3 to 6 months, and a lot of them want you going full time. Quality of coaching is all over the place. Some are legit, others are super shallow and promise way more than they deliver. Your results depend on which program you pick. Boot camps can work, but they're pricey and there's zero guarantee. You're dropping thousands on a program that might get you hired, might leave you with nothing. So what about self-teaching? Technically free if you're using just YouTube, blogs, and free courses. Here's the problem. You'll waste months trying to figure out what even matters. You have no idea what to learn, in what order, or how to build a portfolio that actually gets you hired. Most people just spin in circles for months, get overwhelmed, and then they quit. There's no roadmap and nobody holding you accountable. Self-teaching works for a tiny percentage of super disciplined people, but for most, just doesn't work. Lastly, CourseCareers. This is $499 one-time payment. That makes it 60 times more affordable than 1 year at a public university and 125 times more affordable than a year at a private university. Time commitment is 2 to 3 months. That'll take you through the entire training, and 1 to 6 months to land a job, depending on how intense your search is. Now here's what you get for $499. A full curriculum from basics all the way through hands-on platform practice, portfolio projects, certification prep, and job search strategy. Now here's the part that connects to actually landing the job. Every CourseCareers course ends with what they call the Career Launchpad. This is where you learn how to optimize your resume and your LinkedIn profile so it actually gets past those automated filters, how to reach out to hiring managers the right way. You even get access to an AI interviewer so you can practice interviews unlimited times before the real thing. Also get access to optional affordable coaching. Now, I'm one of the career coaches in there, so you can get access to me if you want. You also get free workshops in a community full of other students and people who've already graduated and landed jobs. And there's a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you jump in and decide it's not for you, you get every cent back. No questions asked. There's also a totally free intro course you can check out to see if digital marketing is a good fit for you. You can learn more about the role, what you'd be doing, and what the industry looks like overall. I'll leave a link in the description to it. CourseCareers has helped thousands of people break into careers like tech sales and IT without any degree or experience. The same playbook works for digital marketing. Now, the average starting salary for digital marketing roles is around $57,000. and it climbs fast once you get some experience. So you can be targeting that 60K to 70K plus range within your first year. Now let me show you the math. If you finish the training in 3 months and get a 60K job by month 6, you've made back your $499 investment in your first week of work. After that, it's all profit. Meanwhile, college students are still 3.5 years away from graduating, still piling up debt and making $0. Even if it takes you the full 6 months to land a job, you're still way ahead. You've put in $499 in maybe 4 to 6 months of your time. Compare that to 4 years and 30K to 60K in debt. This is important to understand because it answers the question that's probably been in the back of your head this entire video. Can I actually afford this? Is this worth it? The answer is, this is hands down the smartest play. Think about it like this. You're not picking between safe college and risky online course. You're picking between spending 4 years and tens of thousands of dollars versus spending a few months and $499 for a direct path to getting hired. But the 14-day guarantee means there's no risk. You can see if it clicks for you, and you get every dollar back if it doesn't. No catch. I could go back and start fresh today. I'd absolutely take CourseCareers or some other hands-on training to learn digital marketing way faster than the path I took. I spent years figuring out what even mattered. You don't have to do that. The road's already laid out for you. Look, I'm not here to pressure you into anything. You've seen the proof that companies hire based on skills, not degrees. You know exactly what platforms and skills to learn. You've got the portfolio strategy to get hired even without professional experience. And you understand this gives you the best ROI compared to college or boot camps. So we covered 4 major things in this video. First, why skills beat degrees in digital marketing. The hiring game's changed. Companies like Google, Apple, and IBM don't ask for degrees anymore. They care about what you can actually do. Second, the exact skills employers are hunting for. Google ads, meta ads, analytics, copywriting, and data analysis. And these are real learnable things you can get good at in months. Third, how to get hired when you've got 0 experience. Build a portfolio with media plans, campaign mockups, and analysis reports. Get free certifications. Network with a plan instead of spam applying on LinkedIn. Use your portfolio to prove you can do the job in interviews. Fourth, the money reality. CourseCareers costs $499 and gets you job ready in 2 to 3 months. College costs $30K to $60K plus and takes 4 years. Boot camps cost thousands too. ROI isn't even close. This is about going from stuck and lost to landing a 60K role in under a year. That's real income, real career progression, and real stability with 0 debt. But here's what I recommend. If you're ready to start, join the full CourseCareers digital marketing program for $499 with a 14-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the full curriculum, portfolio projects, certification prep, and job search help. It's literally everything you need to go from nothing to being hired. So if you're not sure yet, start with the free intro course. See exactly what you learn. Meet the instructor. Check out the curriculum. No credit card needed, 0 pressure. Just see for yourself if this path makes sense for you. You don't need anyone's permission to start building a better career. The job market's shifted. Skills matter more than qualifications, and the opportunity's right there in front of you. I've been in digital marketing for 17 years, and I can tell you, if you put in the work to learn these skills and follow the strategy we just covered, you'll get hired. Now go make it happen.